Hi peeps, Junction 6 here. Today's Sunday, so no World of Tanks Blitz content. Instead, I want to talk about some famous people I've met. And yes, one of them was probably the most famous woman in the world at the time, and that's Princess Diana. I met her when she flew out to Gibraltar to join the Royal Yacht Britannia to go on their honeymoon, her and the King. Yeah, what a beautiful lady. Yeah, it's tragic, isn't it? Another famous person I've met is John Noakes. John Noakes and Shep. I never met Shep, his dog, but I met John Noakes. The Blue Peter presenter, who was famously a complete idiot, climbing Nelson's column and crashing on the Cresta run. Yeah, he was a bit balmy, that's for sure, but very entertaining. Another lady I met, television-wise, was Esther Ranson. I met her while I was in Kenya. She was a presenter of That's Life, a long-running TV kind of magazine programme that kind of covered all sorts of weird and wonderful things. On the same trip, I met Adam Faith. Yeah, a lot of people said that I looked like him at the time, so that was quite good. Who doesn't want to be compared to a famous actor? And of course, yeah, he was in Budgie, which was massive in the very early 70s. I never saw it, but, yeah, it was big. I did, however, own one of these Budgie jackets. How embarrassing. Yeah, in the late 70s, these were all the rage, and I walked around in one of those. After the Kenya visit, we went to the Seychelles, where I met Peter Oxendale. Who the hell's he, you're saying? Well, he was a session musician who played with Bonnie Tyler and Frankie Goes to Hollywood, but he is more famously known as a copyright expert. So if you've got any music that is potentially copyrighted, he's the guy to talk to. So, Ren, Cujo, yeah, Peter Oxendale. Another guy I met was Bernie Taupin. Now, that's him on the left, Elton John on the right. Bernie Taupin is a lyricist for Elton John. I met him when I mistakenly went to his house, thinking that it was a girlfriend of mine's house at the time. However, she didn't live in that big mansion. She lived in a rather humble farmhouse just across the road. Whilst I was in the Falkland Islands, of all places, in one of the only 3 bars in Stanley, the capital, I met the drummer with Status Quo. Yeah, the drummer from Status Quo was in a pub in the Falkland Islands. Yeah, I know, it just sounds absolutely crazy that you would meet someone like that in the Falkland Islands. But I think he was there doing some sort of charity work or something. One of the most impressive people I ever met was Nat Ganella. Now, this guy was a jazz legend from the 1930s and 40s. I actually got tickets for me and my father to his 90th birthday party. Yeah, my dad was a big jazz fan and he really liked Beryl Brydon, whose name doesn't actually appear on the tickets, which I'm surprised by, but she was there as well and performed. Another great of the old British jazz. But it's not all jazz, is it? No, I went to see Oasis at the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham, and yeah, it was just fantastic. It was so good, so good. The main thing is they actually appeared and turned up and did a gig, but it was amazing. These last 2 are a bit controversial, to say the least. First one being Arthur C. Clarke, who I met in Sri Lanka. Yeah, I don't know if many people know about the allegations against him. Obviously, it was pretty obvious that he was homosexual. Whether he was a paedophile or not, I don't know. But all I can say, when I met him, he was a very interesting guy with some amazing stories to tell. Yeah, the last guy I want to talk about is Rolf Harris. I met him when he was doing some charity work for the Mary Rose Trust. They say never ever meet your childhood heroes. I mean, Rolf Harris, yeah, he was my childhood. And, what came out about him, well, yeah. catch you next week for something different to Blitz.